missed. There was only one Kelly. There'd be days on nights on stage that he wouldn't be on the ball. He'd be bad. And but when Kelly was on song, I mean, that was something special. When Kelly was on song, it was pure magic. Pure magic.
I remember Luke as somebody who, he didn't have any great value in material things. He was a bit of a wanderer and like a troubadour, a wandering troubadour, I suppose. He didn't have any real roots, but he didn't have any real value in possessions as such. And one little story to illustrate this, my wife Mary was at an auction one day and she bought a set of chairs, unusual chairs, black lacquered with little gold inlay. And I was in Luke's house about 3 weeks after this, and what did I see in Luke's house? Only a table with no chairs, a table, the exact match for these chairs. And I remember saying to Luke, I told him the story about Mary buying the matching chairs. And he said, well, I said to Luke in a kind of a joke, either you'll have to take the chairs or I'll have to take the table. And he looks out the window and he said, have you got a roof rack on the car? And I said, yeah. He said, right, out, take the table. And he had the table out the door before I could stop him, tied onto the roof rack, and that was me home with Luke's table.
We were playing in Mannheim, and Luke got quite sick, and he was taken away to Nuremberg. So I went straight home, went to bed, got up, found out about the trains, got the train to Nuremberg the next morning, and I went over to this policeman in the middle of the road, and in my almost non-existent German said to him, like, a neurological clinic, like, where, he said, the place is full of them. Which one do you want? I said, well, which would be most likely? So he pointed out one, and I went into it, and luckily enough, Luke was there. And this was about, I suppose, about 11 o'clock in the morning. Or, yeah, or maybe even earlier. But anyway, Luke came down, and we sat in a little room, and we talked for about 3 or 4 hours. And that's the last conversation I had with Luke. And not that we'd anything to heal or to mend or repair, but we just got to know how each one was thinking, and you know, as much as you ever will about anybody. And I was putting my side, and Luke was putting his side, and we had a great conversation. I'm always grateful that I had that conversation with him, because after that, we continued with the tour in Germany. Luke came home, and it was Christmas time, you know, or coming up to Christmas when Luke came home, and I hadn't seen him over the Christmas, and next thing, he was in hospital, and that was it.
The last time he sang on the stage, before he got the operation, we were down in Cork, in the Opera House, and I was keeping an eye on him, because I'm not trying to get kind of an epileptic fit, and he was singing, I don't know what song it was, I think it could have been The Shows of Herring. He did a great job on that song. And I could see him taking I was saying, don't come out in the second half, Luke, you're not too well. And he said, Barney, he said, look, these people here paid to hear me singing.